Did John Krasinski pull this off again? Yes. Yes, he did. Hey everyone, I'm Mariana, this is Impression Blend, and as the audiences are starting to return to the theaters a little bit more, we finally got A Quiet Place Part 2, the sequel to the very successful post-apocalyptic survival horror film, A Quiet Place. Before I get into the review, I have to warn you about spoilers for the first movie. Since this is a direct sequel, it is impossible to talk about the second film without giving away the ending of the first one. So if you haven't seen A Quiet Place, I don't recommend watching this review. Go watch the first one because it is a really good horror movie, and then you'll be ready for part 2. So, picking up right after the ending of A Quiet Place, the sequel finds Evelyn and the kids at what's left of their house, and the mother makes the decision to leave it behind. The house is no longer safe, and the family must venture out into the unknown. This is the main idea behind raising the stakes for this film, taking the characters out of their comfort zone, out of their familiar and formerly safe environment, and taking them beyond the sand path in search of a new, safer place to stay. The sequel successfully expands the world set up by the original, not only by having the family explore more of it, but also through the prologue of the film, where we actually get to see the chaos of day one when the monsters arrived. I'll tell you right away though, if you're hoping to find out more about the monsters themselves, where did they come from, why are they here, this is not something you're going to get from this movie. I wish that was the case, but no. There's one additional detail about the monsters that we are eventually given, which actually raises some questions, but that is it. Maybe we'll get more in the third movie. I'm just assuming they're going to make another one. I have to praise A Quiet Place Part 2 and its writer-director John Krasinski for yet again taking a simple concept and executing it really well. It is not a complex story, but there is so much tension. You know things can take a really bad turn at any moment, and you're going to be sitting there holding your breath time and time again. I also have to once again praise the cast. I loved the actors in the first movie, and they deliver here as well. Emily Blunt is great, of course. I love how she balances being vulnerable and emotional with toughness and getting things done when she needs to. Millicent Simmons, who plays the daughter, steals the scenes she's in once again and actually has a bigger presence in this movie compared to the first one. Cillian Murphy is a great addition to the cast. He's our new man with a beard, as John Krasinski's character is gone, and he plays someone who has pretty much lost all hope and faith in what's left of humanity. Someone who is the complete opposite of Evelyn and her family. So that sets up an interesting dynamic, but there were a few things that I did find frustrating. I already mentioned that the sequel doesn't really deepen our knowledge of these alien monsters, which is unfortunate. The other thing is that the trailer and the official premise used to promote this movie made it seem like there was going to be an additional layer of danger coming from other survivors. They emphasized in the trailers that the people who are left are not the kind of people worth saving, and the premise said that the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats that lurk beyond the sand path, which makes you think this is going to be a major part of the movie. It's not. It plays into the movie, but the overwhelming threat are still absolutely the monsters. I wish they went further with this idea, but unfortunately it's very underdeveloped. My other issue is that the sequel felt a lot more like your typical survival horror movie. So many people, including myself, loved the family dynamic in the first film. Every little detail of how they're dealing with the situation as a family and how they're trying to maintain some semblance of a normal life life, how much they've adjusted the smallest mundane things to fit this new need for silence. I just rewatched A Quiet Place right before the sequel, so it's very fresh in my mind. There is this sense of warmth in the first movie, and you want to root for this family. You don't really get that in the sequel, and as a result, it just doesn't resonate as much emotionally. Obviously, with the father being dead, the dynamic was going to change, but that sense of family and the themes related to parenthood are a big part of why this movie was so good to begin with. This also relates to the change in tension. The first movie is very quiet, and as an audience member, you're afraid to make a sound while watching it, as if the monsters are going to come get you. It's fascinating to watch how every single detail plays into that silence. With the sequel, it's a little different. You don't really get the sense that they have to watch their every move anymore. I know I'm starting to sound like I didn't enjoy the movie. That's not true. I actually enjoyed it quite a lot, and it is the thrilling ride it promised to be. I like that it took the characters out of their comfort zone and that it expanded the world. While it steps away from the parenthood angle, it instead focuses on the need for these children to grow up early and to figure out their place in this hostile new world. Are they going to succumb to fear or step up? And that is an interesting angle to explore. Yes, that also means there are going to be plenty of bad decisions and jump scares in store for you. I mean, they're kids. They're going to make bad choices and create problems. It's like The Walking Dead all over again. You tell Carl to stay in the car, you look away for 1 second, you turn around, where's Carl? Not in a damn car. But I did not have a big issue with this. I think in this particular setup and within the context of mainstream horror, this makes sense. Is it frustrating to watch? Yes, occasionally it is, but it also feels realistic. Now, I've seen some people mention that they actually prefer this movie to the original, and while I agree that this is a very strong sequel, I don't think it surpasses A Quiet Place. The two movies have different strengths and weaknesses, and I think quality-wise, they are on par with each other, so in the end, it's just going to come down to personal preference. Were you someone who wanted to see more monster action, more running and surviving? Then you're probably going to prefer the sequel. Were you like me and really appreciated how the horror elements affected the family dynamic and how the family tensions played into the post-apocalyptic world? Then you're probably going to prefer the original film. But regardless, if you enjoyed A Quiet Place, I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy the sequel just as much. Before I give my final rating, I just want to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can also follow me on social media if you would like. I would leave the links to that in the info box below. But if you're a fan of movies, which I have a feeling you are, I think you're going to like it here. So make that red button gray. So in the end, A Quiet Place Part 2 definitely lives up to the original. It's an effective survival horror film that's well-paced and well-executed. It expands the world of the first movie, it makes progress on the characters, and despite its faults, it's a fun time if you're looking for some thrills and scares. I am glad they held off on this release because this is absolutely the type of movie you want to see at a movie theater. This is something that's meant to be watched in a dark room on a big screen with other people around. So if you have the opportunity to watch it in theaters and if you feel comfortable doing so, I would definitely recommend it. And I am giving A Quiet Place Part 2 an 8 out of 10. But what about you? Have you seen the movie yet? Did you like it? Are you planning to see it in theaters? Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, a big thank you to all of my patrons who are supporting me on Patreon, with an extra special thank you to the patrons whose names are on the screen right now. But of course, thank you to all of you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.